This is Tepe-Sialk. It's located in Kashan, Iran, and it is the oldest ziggurat structure we have on Earth. Now, in case you don't know, ziggurat structures were essentially prototypes for the pyramids you're finding all over the globe. The first ever one was built in Iran. Its foundations date back to 8,000 years ago. That means at the end of the last ice age, when agriculture wasn't even flourishing in most parts of the world, we have proof that in Iran, not only did they set up highly advanced societies, but they had agriculture, temples, art, pottery, and much more. This site was used for thousands of years. Now, why is that such a big deal? Well, when you look at places all around the globe, they essentially started doing the exact same structures. You find ziggurats in Mexico, in China, Egypt. The first actual pyramid built there we know as the Step Pyramid, and it's essentially built in the structure, leveling up like a ziggurat, and many, many more places around the world. What we need to understand, especially now with what's happening in Iran, is that Iran is a fundamental part of our collective human history. It's not about being genetically Iranian or being born or raised in Iran or having any kind of ancestry from Iran. We all have ancestry from all over the world. In the words of Roger Waters, we are all African. We all came out of Africa. That's what we're told by scientists who have done genetic testing on our genomes as a human species. We all left Africa and branched out in different places. But the first place that they went to out of Africa, our ancient ancestors, was the Middle East. They went there. Some of them kept going and went north and east and south, and some of them built up a base there and built the structures that are there now. Fast forward a few thousand years, and what you find is the Achaemenid Empire, which spanned all across Persia, Iraq, furthermore. And what you're finding is some of the earliest rock carvings, art, and beautiful sculptures ever found, which were also hugely inspirational for neighboring countries and countries all around the world, which then later did a lot of the same sort of rock carving styles and a lot of the same temple style structures. I want everyone to be very conscious of what's happening in Iran. It is not slowing down. People are being killed more and more every day, arrested, tortured. What we need to remember in times like this is that skin tone and borders mean nothing. You don't see white dogs staying away from black dogs. You don't see brown dogs herding into a group and staying away from the ginger dogs. For some reason, our human species, which seems to think of itself as being so advanced, has created so many divisive borders, both physically and mentally, between ourselves. And it's ridiculous. What's happening in Iran affects you. What's happening in Ukraine affects you. What's happening all over the world affects you. I'm focusing mainly right now on what's going on in the East because of my ancestral background. It's true. But if I'm not going to speak out, who's going to speak out? Because it seems not many people are speaking out. The media isn't speaking out. And this issue, once again, is not only in Iran, in Iraq, in Afghanistan, in Palestine. You're seeing the same sort of fundamental issues. Women's rights are not respected. People's rights as a whole are not respected. Laws are not equal. Dictatorships are all over the world, it seems, right now. Whether it's Russia, whether it's Iran, whether it's China. Imagine for 1 second if they all unite. We're going to have World War III. And that's for us to stand up and stop. That's for us to stand up and do something. I understand that we live a privileged lifestyle in the West, and you don't have to think about it. You don't. You can turn off the news, you can ignore it, you can put your stories down, you can block whatever stories that you don't want to see or any posts that you don't want to share, and just live your ignorant lifestyle. But one day it will affect you. It will. And if it's not now, the way things are going, it's soon. All it takes is for the powers that be in places like that to unite. Where do you think they're going to go next? If history has taught us anything, and as you guys know, I love myself a little bit of history, that you're not safe. No matter where you're located in this world, you're not safe. Are we going to live another 8,000 years repeating the same mistakes? Or are we going to do something about it? It's up to you, it's up to me, it's up to all of us. We all must take a step, we all must take a stand. And talking about history, I'd wish to remind you that less than 100 years ago, women didn't have the right to vote in the UK, a country which seems to be quite advanced for our times now. It's been less than 100 years since females had the right to vote there, and if it wasn't for such huge movements from powerful females, it would have taken much longer, and we would probably be living in a very different society today. And for anyone thinking, oh yeah, well, we got there now, so it's all right. Statistics showed that in 2021, last year, the gender pay gap is 15% still, which means on average, females earn 15% less than their male counterparts for the exact same job. And let's not even get into the gap between female and male employment, and even worse so if you have any kind of ethnic sounding name. I hope you learned something new. If you liked this clip, there's a lot more on my page. Just tap through and watch them now. Ancient disclosure, I'm going to be uploading longer clips going a little bit more in detail, not only about Iran, but about ancient societies all over our globe, how they're linked, and how essentially we are all human and we all need to start realizing that more and more. Thank you.